So you get to this video, you do not bring refreshment. You think this video is all those ones like just be running around after 2 minutes. Better go and get your refreshment. I'll be here. I'll wait for you. It's gonna be a long one. Welcome back. Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am another Nigerian YouTuber and my name is Uime. I knew you'd come back. I knew you'd come back because the way I'm looking at you, you're somebody that always makes the right decisions in life. That's why God keeps blessing you. That's why He keeps prospering you, because you know how to. You know how to. Anyway, in this video, we're going to be talking about a very, very touchy subject. You guessed it right. Objectification. Of course, you guessed it right because it's literally on the thumbnail. Oh yes, we're going to be talking about objectification, and before we get into the video, I just want to do a quick disclaimer. Nothing I'm going to say in this video, however I phrase it, however it sounds, is to give an excuse for any form of sexual harassment, rape, sexual violence of any sort. Okay, this video is not linked with sexual assault at all. There's no excuse for that kind of behavior. Okay, if you're experiencing any of those issues, please speak out. And if you're a perpetrator of one of those issues, you are depraved. You need Jesus. You need Jesus. Now that disclaimer is done, let's get into this video. Okay, so we're going to be talking about objectification, right? So we have to start by defining what objectification is for those people who don't know what it is. Now, objectification literally and simply means to degrade someone to a mere object. I think you can already see the problem here. I think you can already see why this discussion needs to be had. Everyone objectifies and everyone can be objectified. So men can objectify women, women can objectify men, and you can actually objectify yourself, which we will get to later in the video, right? So objectification is not really gender specific, okay? This video is not like supposed to be like some sort of gender war, like bashing men or bashing one gender against the other, okay? But this video is going to be focused on objectification of women, right? Simply because statistically, women are more objectified than men in our society. In fact, I remember a time where there was this Asian fetish where white men would date Asian women, maybe because of their features, the way they looked and everything, but it was called the Asian fetish, right? And these things happen a lot in our societies. You look at advertisements, you look at movies, you look at music videos where just do it right now. Go to like the top 10 videos on the music chart. You know, you see that most of those videos have naked women being flaunted as if they were objects. You know, you see men with full clothing. Some of them will even wear raincoats. Some of them wear jackets on top of their clothing, you know, in the same music videos, and you see women with next to nothing on, shaking their backsides and doing all sorts. Science has given us a reason for this, right? Science says that there's something called global processing and logo processing. So when people look at men, and that's both men and women, when men and women look at men, they use global processing, and when men and women look at women, they use logo processing. So let me explain what global processing and logo processing is. Global processing means to look at a thing as a whole. Logo processing means to look at parts. So for example, if I was looking at a house through global processing, I would see the house on a foundation. But if I was to be looking at a house through logo processing, I would see the windows, the doors. So what science is literally saying is that when people look at women, they look at parts rather than like the persona of the woman. And so this might point to why many times women are more objectified in our society than men. Look at social media, for example. I know of a very, very funny comedian who, I'm saying this right now and I'm actually feeling bad for calling him out because he makes me laugh. But look at Mr. Macaroni. You know, Mr. Macaroni's jokes are, his whole career is based on objectifying women, you know. Even when the videos come on, you see that it goes straight to the woman's backside or the woman's front side, you know. And what that actually does is harmful, because It's dehumanizing the person who is being objectified. It's everywhere. Like everywhere you turn, women are being objectified, and most times it's even microaggressive. So you find that in an office space, you have this beautiful lady who's always doing the board presentations, or who is always representing the company, and it's not about her smarts, it's just because she's attractive. You find out that sometimes in banks, women are being hired because they can bring in clients, and so it's microaggressive. It's everywhere in our society. Objectification is literally now imbibed in our culture, to say the least. But that doesn't make it okay, that doesn't make it normal, that doesn't make it acceptable, that doesn't make it good. If you kind of like grab what I'm saying, please let me drink water. Tempted by the darkness, telling me that I should throw it. Whew. Now let's talk about self-objectification. I find self-objectification very, very problematic, but also I can't blame the people who do it. Where people are used as products, right? So they'll say, oh, I'm a brand, right? So people call themselves brands, and they literally sell their reality for money. And as crazy as that sounds, these things are more often than not very, very normalized in our society, and it boils down even onto social media. So you see young girls claiming that they are models, but you go on their Instagram page or their Facebook page, and then all you see is naked pictures or half naked pictures. And I'll be the first to tell you, like, do whatever you want to do, okay? But with every action there's a reaction, okay? And there's always consequences for the things that we do. So the message you're sending, really, because nobody can actually see your substance, no one can actually see that you're smart, you have your emotions, your fears, your dreams, your goals. All they're seeing is your backside. So at the end of the day, what you're doing is you're giving off yourself as a product for likes, sometimes for money, because I know that people get to a point where they start making money from it, but just for likes, for some sort of attention or approval, and I know that this sounds like I'm bashing, but please just have an open mind and listen to the logic behind what I'm saying, okay? So when we start to see our image as some sort of commodity or some sort of product, what is meant to be private, you decided to share with the world for likes, for money, for social media presence, for approval, for attention, to impress men, to impress women. I don't know why you're doing what you're doing, girl, but I know it's not. And please don't give me that body positivity argument. Some people say that, okay, you can't body shame people, so in order for them to embrace their body sizes, they should be naked on Instagram. It doesn't add up. I'm sorry. Body positivity actually means acceptance for bodies of all shapes and sizes, okay? What you're doing isn't changing anything. You being naked on Instagram because you're fat does not mean that you're body positive. I'm sorry, it doesn't add up. Your nudity does not do anything for body positivity, okay? Body positivity was to enhance a certain awareness that, there are bigger people and skinnier people in our universe, okay? Any of these considerations are not given to people on the bigger side or to people on the smaller side. And so there was this movement to call for acceptance of all body shapes, all body sizes, okay? To break down all those beauty standards, because I know that there was a time where being slim was the standard, and then suddenly it became slim thick, and now it's thick. So to break down all those standards and to just create a general acceptance for all body shapes and sizes, it has nothing to do with your nudity. It really doesn't. Whether you're naked or not, it doesn't really do anything for the body positivity movement, okay? You can be fully clothed and accept your body size, okay? So it's self-acceptance, it's understanding that this image doesn't really matter. In fact, it's body neutrality. It's not actually caring what size you are, because it doesn't actually matter what size you are. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So self-objectification is just as harmful as objectification coming from another gender, okay? Because what it does is that it dehumanizes people, and that's never a good thing. It's just never a good thing. Some people argue that obviously men are attracted to women, so what do they call it? Boys being boys, right? Boys being boys, they're hunters by nature, Let's get into it. Let's break it down, okay? Let's do some science. Okay, so scientists actually did a study. Hear me out. They actually did a study show that men are highly attracted to women when women are half naked or naked. I don't know why we needed science to tell us this, but this is just where we are now. Science is using government money, taxes of citizens. Woman in scanty clothing will arouse a man. Science had to do this study to show us this. But this is the interesting part, right? Biology states that when a man sees a woman in that form, or in an arousing form, there's a part of their brain that literally lights up, and it's the part of the brain that, you know, when you see food and you're hungry, that lights up. You know, science. It's not me. This is just science, right? So that's the argument for nature. But I feel like the nature argument is kind of bullshit, because I'm sure if women were to undertake those studies, it will also show that women are aroused by half-naked men, okay? And I think that's just simple biology. It's because of procreation, reproduction. Living things must reproduce. So obviously, if we're seeing each other in our innate forms, it's only right that there must be some sort of arousal, okay? It's necessary. But that's what distinguishes us, I believe, from animals, you know? Not all living things are the same. Human beings are supposed to be of a higher class, or human beings are supposed to have the S brain, if I'm correct, meaning that we're supposed to be able to analyze information and appreciate things that normal animals can't. So when your biological instinct kicks in, your common sense should also kick in. Yes, you've seen a half-naked woman, you're aroused, but you're not an animal. Why are you whistling? Yes, baby, ha, you're looking sentimental. Can I just? It's not necessary. It's really not. You're not an animal. Stop acting like one, okay? Stop it. What I'm trying to say, I guess, is that sexuality in itself is healthy. It's when it becomes depraved, and when we cease to see the human beings and we start seeing people as objects. That's where the problem is. The next thing to discuss is literally the movements that have happened in this regard. So I'm going to separate it into two, right? I'm going to call one the slut culture and call one the modesty culture, right? So to fight objectification of women, the modesty culture came in and said women should dress a certain way. So cover yourself up to your neck. Your shoulders are attractive, your chest is attractive, your neck is attractive, your teeth are attractive, your legs are attractive. That is supposed to tackle objectification, but my question is how? Because you're still treating me like an object. How does it tackle it? You tell me to dress up to here, I can't breathe. Why? Because you see me as an object of temptation. And so, I don't think that really does anything for objectification, because what it does is, it still treats the person like an object, but on the other extreme. So treating them like an object of temptation. It's still objectification. Modesty culture, you failed. So here comes in the slut culture, right? I'm sure if you're on social media, you've heard about the slut walks that have been happening. Actually, the first slut walk, a woman who was sexually assaulted, that's why I had to give that disclaimer at the beginning of the video. Because a woman who was sexually assaulted went to the police station, and let me actually read what the policeman said. The policeman said, women should avoid dressing like sluts in order to avoid sexual assault, right? So that was the reason for the first slut walk. They were protesting this idea that sexual assault is something that you're supposed to take precaution against, which, I mean, that's just common sense, you know. These people are animals. I don't think there's anything that you can do to prevent yourself from being. So that was complete bollocks. Okay, but that's where the slut culture came in. The slut culture came in to say that women should wear whatever they want, and still, like, no matter what I'm wearing, I'm not asking for it, right? So that makes sense. Now let's take sexual assault out of the way. In our society, it is a reality that we have people called prostitutes, right? Now, these prostitutes, for a living, have sex with men and women, or however they're doing it these days. But this is what they do for a living. This is their profession, right? Unfortunately, their profession has a certain uniform. Okay? They wear scanty clothes so that their goods can be seen by potential customers and purchased. These clothes are the same clothes that women wear, and they're saying, just because I'm dressed this way, does not mean I'm a whore. And okay, I just wanted to see a bit of the confusion, right? Like the confusion you're giving off, right? Because I can wear a police uniform and stand in front of the road stopping cars, and then an armed robbery is happening, and then the owners of the shops come out and say, police officer, please help us, please help us. And then I turn and look at them and say, just because I'm wearing a police officer's uniform does not mean I'm a police officer. I think you can see logically where the confusion is, okay? So empowering women to dress like prostitutes doesn't really do anything for objectification. I'm sorry. It might do something for the movement against sexual assault, right? Because what you're trying to say is you're making a statement, and I kudos to you, okay? If you're making a statement, go to the length to make that statement. Go to the heavens to make that statement, okay? But for objectification, the slut culture does nothing for objectification, okay? You're trying to force this ideology and make it trump biological instinct, okay? You're trying to say that men should not be aroused when they see you naked. I don't think that makes sense. I don't think that makes sense. Does it make sense? These women say that no matter how they are dressed, they should be respected. And it's a nice ideology. It's nice. In a perfect society, that's how it should be. But let's be real. You are always addressed based on how you're dressed. That's just the world we live in. It's just the world we live in. At the end of the day, unfortunately, we are a judgmental folk. You are addressed based on how you're dressed. So this whole slut culture to fight objectification, I feel like it's counteractive. Wearing bras and panties and keeping everything within reach, leaving nothing to the imagination. I'm lost. So this is why I feel like slut culture has failed. Because slut culture does nothing to humanize women. You're not showing them that we are people of substance, that we are human beings with goals, visions, experiences. You're not showing them any of that. You're still just showing them sexual parts. So how does that help objectification? And that's why I feel like slut culture. Both the slut culture and the modesty culture have only led to self-esteem issues and higher depravity and perversion. Okay? So how then do we fix objectification? I think every human being needs to have a level of empathy. Every human being needs to exhibit some sort of emotional intelligence. Nobody's your toy. The only way to fix objectification is self-awareness. It starts with you, it starts with me. Let's stop looking at people as some sort of object. Every human being has their experiences, has their intentions, their dreams, their aspirations. Please, let's not ever get to a point where we start seeing people as tools, as toys. People should be treated with some sort of respect. People should be treated with dignity. Let me be more specific. Women should be treated with respect. Women should be treated with dignity, okay? Women are human beings too, and the mere fact that I have to make that statement is problematic. We're human beings. We're more than our bodies. We're more than these extra pounds of flesh, of fat, of muscle. And this is something I'm so passionate about, because every single time you see a music video and I just see the women are even irrelevant to the song. Someone could be making a song about Monopoly and then have naked women in his videos. No plots, nothing. What are they doing there? Why are they twerking? It makes no sense. Okay, we're not objects to be used to trend. We're not plastic. We're human beings. And until people start to realize that and see people for who they are, we're still going to have this issue where people objectify each other. Please be more self-aware. Accept yourself for who you are. You're more than your body. You are your dreams. You're your goals. You're your aspirations. There's an infinite universe on the inside of you. You are everything that God says that you are. You have so much to give the world than your extra pounds of flesh. Because when you start looking at yourself as a product, you start thinking about upgrades, right? Thinking about ways to make yourself better. Lip fillers, breast reduction, breast enlargement, hips enlargement, because you're seeing yourself as some sort of product that has to fit within a specification. But you are more than your body. And if you don't hear anything I've said in this video, hear this, okay? The likes on Instagram, the attention you receive, the approving nods, even the favors you get, don't add anything to your value, okay? You're valuable because you're here in this world. That's what makes you valuable. When God looks at you, He doesn't see you for the container that you're in, or the way I like to call it, your flesh suit. He sees you for who you really are. Who you are is way more than what you look like. And I just need you to, okay, good. Anyway, that brings me to the end of this video. Did you learn something? While I was recording this video, I actually learned a lot. I hope you did too. But even if you didn't, still subscribe to my channel. If you did, subscribe to my channel. If you did it, like the video. If you did, like the video. Subscribe to my channel and put a thumbs up under this video, okay? It will literally cost you nothing, okay? Thank you so much for watching, alright? Thank you, alright. You're a G. And I'll see you next time, okay? Bye!